He the one who wanted to hear that song?
Everybody wanted to hear that song.
Why did we play that song?
Because on this day...
In 1981, Joe Dolce went to #1 in 15 countries with that song, sold 4 million copies.
Joe Dolce achieved international recognition with the multi-million selling song Shut Up Your Face. The single reached #1, in 15 countries.
Hey!
He says, now, Joe Dolce was born in Paynesville, Ohio.
Okay.
Italian-American parents. He lived in America until 1978 and then moved to Australia.
Australia.
They'll
And-
appreciate me in Australia.
And
he
became, and he has done a lot of stuff in Australia. He's still working. He did a protest song called Boat People, which was extremely popular in Australia. It's about the poor treatment of Vietnamese refugees.
Oh.
And there are a lot of them in Australia because actually Vietnam is very, very close to Australia in geographic terms. And
I can't find boat people.
Huh. And so currently he performs with various groups. He co-wrote a song for the soundtrack of the Terminator movie. He was the lead actor in an Australian film called Blowing Hot and Cold. He performs solo and with a guy named Lynn Van Heck. They do a cabaret called Difficult Women. And yeah, he's still kind of, he's fairly well known and popular in Australia to
I'm
this
big
day.
in Australia.
He's 79 years old.
Do you think he has a shut up at your face house? He points to it and says, that's my shut up at your face
I remember
house.
the first time I ever heard Shut Up You Face. I was with Kerry Jackson, and we were at the Shooting Star Saloon up in Huntsville, and it's on the jukebox up there. Probably still is. And
that was the first time you heard it?
That's the first time I'd ever heard it.
I heard it on the Funny Five.
I know.
Dr. Demento.
You, as a matter of fact, you selected that song and said, have you ever heard this? And I said, no. I listen to Dr. Demento's occasionally, but not very often. And so we played it on the jukebox there, and that's the first time you introduced me to that song. That was probably in 1987.
Well, the song came out in 81.
Oh, okay.
You didn't hear it for 7 years after it came out? No?
Gina, I'll bet you there are a lot of songs that came out in 1981 that I've never heard. I think it's entirely possible. It's I know certain things amaze you. For some reason, I'm always amazed by what amazes
But
you.
it went to #1. It's not like it was some obscure song.
It was. I don't recall that it was #1 on, local pop stations here. It was a Dr. Demento song.
Tonight on the Funny Five.
Remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you not to leave because I go berserk? Well, you left me anyhow, and then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind.
But #1 on the Funny Five tonight, of course, again, is Fish Heads.
Fish Heads, Billy Mooney. I'll tell you, so Gina, they're coming to take me away.
Yeah.
I don't know what year that came out exactly, but I heard it right when it came out because they played it all the time on KCPX. And they played, and then Fish Heads. I think I must have heard that on Dr.
What about I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than to have a frontal
I'm a
lobotomy?
fellow with
You
a
have
heart
that?
of gold, with the ways of a gentleman, I've been told, the kind of a feller that wouldn't even harm a flea.
Oh, I know this, yeah.
But if me and a certain character met, the guy that invented the cigarette, I'd murder that son of a gun in the first degree.
Smoke, smoke, smoke.
Of course, it ain't 'cause I don't smoke myself, and I don't reckon they hinder your health. I've smoked them all my life, and I ain't dead yet.
It's Smoke, Smoke, Smoke That Cigarette from
Poker game.
Tex Williams.
How about Ahab the Arab? We got Ahab the Arab somewhere?
I have a sad story to tell you. It may hurt
I know this song mainly from doing Oktoberfest year after year after year up at Snowbird.
to my bathroom. I stepped in a big pile of
shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look keen.
Yeah.
Is this a Dr. Demento playlist on Spotify?
What else we got? It's kind of, I hate these kind of songs, but yeah, there we go.
He's free as a breeze. He's always at
Ray
ease.
Stevens,
he lives
right?
in the jungle and hangs by his knees as he swings through the trees without a trapeze in his BB.
Ray Stevens is a very talented guy. It's got to be Tiny Tim.
Through the window, through the tulips with me.
It's time to get demented.
Poor Tiny Tim was really misused.
Bird is a word. Bird. Bird is a word.
But no, Gina, I didn't know "Shut Up Your Face" until 1987 or something.
There you go.
Maybe it was very front and center for me because when my dad discovered it, that became his theme song and played it.
It was. That's funny. I know all those. I knew all of those other songs, but the "Shut Up Your Face" eluded me somehow. I don't know.
There's quite a few of them on that list that were pretty big.
See what you miss if you're not listening live to the Radio from Hell show with farting around. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You're kind of lucky that you didn't
hear any of
it.
Hey.
Most of those other songs that though they were played on Top 40 radio as well as on Dr. Demento, and those Ray Stevens songs were huge hits.
Oh yeah, the streak was huge.
And he had the Arab, the Sheik of the Burning Sands. He had diamonds and rubies just a dripping off of him, and a ring for every finger of his hand. And he had a camel named Clyde, and Clyde would go, oh. I remember.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I remember those things.
That's taking up space in your head.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very forgetful about things that happened last week.
Yeah.
Or no, honey, no, you're right. I forgot to go to the pharmacy and get your prescription. I'll get it today. I'm sorry.
But you have.
But I got all that crap in my head.
Well, if only she could make a funny song about it.
It's a cleverly rhymed song.
Hey.
Well, okay.
There you go.
This has been Farting Around with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96.